I've had a lot of people sending me videos about blocked sinks, blocked basins, blocked baths, blocked showers. So I thought it might be time for you to learn how you can deal with it. Now, where have I put it? I carefully drew a picture for you and now I've left it somewhere. So excuse me while, here it is, not too far. Right. This is a very, you see, I was going to be an artist. Rembrandt's got nothing on me. So this is actually a diagram of a bathroom sink, but it could just as well be a kitchen sink or a shower. It's the same layout, basically. Now, water comes in here. This is the overflow to stop your sink falling. It's permanently open, and it just runs down there. And the idea is if you forget to turn a tap off, your sink or basin shouldn't overflow. Then here is the little hair trappy thing, which you have seen me warning desperately people not to unscrew it and take it off in case it comes asunder here. Now this is what's known as the U-bend, and it unscrews. It's a separate piece of pipe. It unscrews here, and you can take it off, and that just runs away. Now you can see that things will get caught in the bottom here. In showers and baths, it's often hair. It catches on the hair collector here and it rinses down, and you end up with what I refer to as a hair rat. And it's a load of human hair that gathers in here, and it starts off by making it slow flowing, but of course it catches any bits. It acts like a sieve, and it can end up blocking the sink, and it can be really hard to clear, because when you use what for most people is the first line of defence, which is the plunger, you plunge it up and down and it will loosen some of the bits, so you'll see little brown bits floating up, but it won't actually remove the hair because it's a long tangled knot. So that covers that. Now in sinks, kitchen sinks, it's often things like tea leaves and cotton, coffee grounds and that, which gather in here, and a plunger will shake it up and down and it will clear it enough for a little bit of water to start flowing, and often then you get a bigger flow and it rinses away. If you put fat down your drain, this all sets in a lump of fat, and you can pour hot water down it, but quite often the heat doesn't penetrate to here, so you'll get bits of fat rising. And of course, if you do put fat down your drain, you'll have all fat running through here, like your arteries if you eat and smoke too much. So, the first thing you should do with a block sink, if you can do it, and if you have clean access and you know what you're doing, is put a bucket underneath this, unscrew the U-bend and have a look. And very often you'll find the thing, you'll empty it out, you screw it back on, and you've cured your problem. But you do have to make sure you screw it on properly. It's really easy to twist the threads here and get them to leak. And if you're in a flat and it seeps, you can bring downstairs ceiling down without realising you've got a problem. So do be quite careful with that and keep an eye out. However, that's free. And don't forget to put a bucket under there. That holds quite a lot of water. And if you've got a block sink, everything will empty. The next thing to try is often a plunger, and if people don't have one, they should keep one, and that jiggles up and down and it can loosen stuff, but it won't get rid of hair. You've also seen people putting vinegar and bicarbonate of soda down. Well, that doesn't do anything more than the plunger, and it does it less efficiently. It just fizzes a bit and it can freeze some of these bits. Washing soda, my first and only, well, it's not, but you know, I'm sad. Washing soda and a kettle of hot water will also clear some of the greasy sludge, because it's a strong alkaline. It will help swoosh it out. Now we're going to assume that you've tried all of these things and you've still got blocked or slow flowing sink. Right, next one is this baby. This is called a plumber's snake. I bought this at Poundland and it was £1. If you see one, buy one. I then found just a pouch, and I keep it rolled up and I hang it on the back of the bathroom door so I can find it. And what you do is, this is really the only cure for hair. You feed it down here, and because it's all springy, I mean, it can get a bit caught, and you can do a bit, you know, in here, and you can do a bit of, but it will hook things like hair. And quite often, if you've got a hair rat, you put it down to there, and you'll heave it up, and you'll get a bit of hair attached to the end of it. Grab that with both hands, and you haul, and you haul, and you haul, and you will come up with a huge thing that looks like a dead rat, and all of a sudden your sink will be free. Put the dead rat down the lavatory and flush it. But you've tried that, nothing happens. Now we get on to things like drain cleaners, and some of them can be really expensive. But caustic soda, which is the base for most of them, this stuff is not expensive. That was under £3. There's a couple of ways you can use that. The first one is just to sprinkle some of the crystals down the plug hole and see how they go. Now I'm going to put a warning with this. This will give you nasty chemical burns. It gets hot when it reacts, and you will feel it does properly get hot. And that's one of the reasons it helps clear fat, because it actually heats it and melts it. But it does get really hot, and I really honestly wear rubber gloves when you do that. And also, obviously, if you've got small children, they do come in shard-proof locks. That's a crystal salt. You can get the liquid stuff, but I'd get the crystals just because they're less likely to spill. Put some of that down, wait 20 minutes, half an hour, preferably overnight. You can mix a strong solution in a jug and pour that down, and then you just leave it to work, and it will dissolve a lot of food, a lot of fat and a lot of sludge. Once it's been sat overnight, turn the taps on, and you should find that it will just wash away. Now, if that doesn't work, we're going on to the nuclear option. And you've heard me talk about this stuff a lot. If you mix these two together, neither of them will work because one's an acid and one's an alkaline. So use that first, and if it doesn't work, don't go chucking that down, because this will neutralise that, and it will also get quite hot and you might explode your sink. Bad move, never a good move. But rinse, send lots and lots of gallons of water. Usually you've got a slow flowing sink. Lots of gallons of water down there. Now there will be times though when you know it's hair, showers especially. Caustic is not very good at dissolving human hair. Human hair is tough stuff. And showers and baths, you don't really have easy access to this. And also, because it's not visible most of the time, even if you did get to it, you wouldn't be able to see if it was leaking. Now you've got this stuff. Now, I am going to give you a warning here. This stuff, caustic will give you nasty chemical burns. This stuff will burn a hole in you. If you have small children, this can permanently blind them if they play with it. If you use it responsibly and sensibly, it's perfectly safe. But if you have children, you must keep this on a high shelf where they cannot get it, in the shed or somewhere else. If you use it, wear rubber gloves. And I would suggest that you wear glasses or a face shield and treat it with respect, because it will burn a hole in you. But it dissolves human hair beautifully. So, if you know you've got a hair rat and you can't pull it out, then you can chuck half a bottle of this down. Don't breathe the fumes, because it will fume up and it will make you choke. It's also my patent cure for really badly lime-scaled lavatories. You know, the ones where nothing works and it looks like they're coated in cement. This will do it. Half a bottle, leave it for an hour, flush it before you open the lid. And if it's not clear, the other half of the bottle, close the lid. It is, now, it is 30%. I'm trying to get that for you to read, and I'm not sure. It is very strong hydrochloric acid. If you use that on the stainless steel, it will turn it black and it will etch glass. Now, having said that, it is okay on lavatories, and I know they've got a glaze on them. But just be aware that it is a very, very cheap thing to use. Treat it with respect, but if you've got a nasty block in somewhere that you can't reach and you're pretty sure it's hair, that's the one that will do it. But obviously you have to buy those. So if you're going away to uni or you're living on your own, a plumber snake, for the sake of £1, hang it on the back of your bathroom door so that you can always find it in a hurry, and that will remove a lot of blocks. Plungers, again, most bathrooms, if you look behind the loo, they've got one discreetly tucked away. Don't resort to chemicals unless you have to. Apart from the fact that you're spending money, you don't really want to send anything unnecessary down the pipes, do you? You know, it's not ideal, but those are your options, and that's how you use them. So, if you're going off on your own, spend £1 on a snake, and it's worth spending a few pound on a plunger. This plunger is not used in our lavatory, but you can use one in the lavatory. Ignore the American ones where they show rather peculiarly shaped plungers, because their lavatories are slightly different to ours. That would probably work in most of ours, but I don't. I'm careful. We don't put things like wipes. Never put fat down your drain, and never, ever flush wipes of any description. The only thing that should go down a lavatory is lavatory paper and human waste. And never, ever, ever leave a bar of soap where a toddler can reach it, and in an experiment we'll put it down the loo, because the worst clog you'll ever have is a bar of soap. And trust me on that. On the bar of soap front, dynamite might work. It's the worst stuff I've ever found for clogging loos. So keep your soap out of your toddler's reach, and then hopefully between that you'll manage to clear all your blocks.